Hi, this is Paula, and I'm here to tell you about Data for Good Calgary Mini Datathon #1, all about spatial data. We are getting ready for our fall datathon. In the fall of 2020, we'll be working with the Calgary Homeless Foundation for our big yearly datathon. What data are we going to use? We'll be looking for organizations relevant to homelessness in Calgary. Let's pretend Calgary is an island. First of all, we found organizations that might be related to homelessness through Google search using their Places API. Going to the Calgary Foundation website, they have a directory there that lists organizations that they fund, and just knowledge from what people already knew and told us. So we find these organizations, but then we have to map them. So I put the organization names into Google Geocode, and we get lat long locations that we can actually map. So what do we have in the end? We have locations that relate to homelessness in Calgary and points that we can actually use for an exercise to understand spatial data. So hopefully we are set up now to study relevant locations to homelessness for Calgary, and we can start looking at how to build maps, looking at data through different geographical perspectives. For this datathon, we're only interested in looking for the Calgary area, and all data will be clipped to it. There are many ways that we can look at data within Calgary. There's by quadrant, by ward, Alberta Health Local Geographical Area. Notice that from left to right, we're getting more polygons or more detail to the right. And here we are increasing on detail with forward sortation area. The forward sortation area comes from Canada Post. It is the first 3 characters of your postal code. Next, we might want to analyze by our municipal communities and also by census tract. Community and census tract are the most detailed. Both have census associated with it. Census data from the City of Calgary for the municipal, and census data from the last federal long census for the census tract. The goal is to be able to compare all these places, the organizations, with these spatial polygons with federal census, community census, postal codes, and Alberta health information. What really matters is what kind of question you're trying to answer. For example, you might be curious about how many organizations actually occur in a quadrant of Calgary. And to answer these questions, we need to map to each point the actual quadrant information. Once we have that information associated with each point, then we can associate other data via that quadrant information. To get that information tied to each point, I actually use a tool called QGIS, and that will associate each point with the necessary information. QGIS has a tool called intersection, and what that will do will take the points on input, use their location, latitude and longitude, figure out where it intersects the shape, and in this case the shapes have to do with quadrants of Calgary, and then assigns to each point. So 2 green points here, one is southeast, another one is northwest, and the black point is northwest, and the red is southwest. QGIS is then used to actually get the information or these geokeys to join to all these other shapes. What is supplied to you on data.world is this master organization list with all these keys. You can see the check marks there, and they are found on the data.world project that we're using for this mini datathon. This then supplies us with hooks to correlate data by quadrant, by ward, by Alberta Health Services area. And here you can see how it looks in Power BI. And then by forward sortation area, municipal community, and census tract. And this is how the number of organizations look in Power BI for those shapes. Those maps we've created in Power BI are called shape maps, but in reality they are called choropleth map, and here is just the wiki page so you know where to look for a quick definition. It's best to actually not have the count like we had. within the polygon. What you really want to have is a ratio or something that will normalize the data for fair comparison between the mapping polygons. So this is it. I hope this helps, and have a lot of fun doing analysis and showing us what you've come up with.